Welcome to the most must-see wrestling analysis show on YouTube. Welcome to Beyond the Shoot. Psycho Steve here bringing you another episode of Back to School where we grade Monday Night Raw from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's get started. Opening segment of Raw, Kurt Angle coming out, Ronda Rousey, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H. Kind of predictable. We know that it's going to be a WrestleMania match between those four. It's going to be Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Ronda Rousey just needs to work a little bit on her acting. I know she's new to the WWE, so it's a lot of acting, but she needs to work a little bit on it, and the more television time she gets, she'll be just fine. I just think wrestling has passed Kurt Angle. He no longer belongs in the ring except to talk and as a general manager. I just believe he cannot wrestle in the ring anymore. He had trouble putting Triple H in the ankle lock. Triple H pretty much had to carry him in this segment because he had to turn himself a little bit just to get that ankle lock set in for Kurt Angle. Stephanie McMahon just looks lost in the ring a little bit if she's not talking. If she's trying to wrestle or trying to hit Ronda Rousey in the back of the head, it really looks just rushed. So this segment, I give it a C+. I've said before that Kurt Angle starting off the show is not one of the best things to do. Start off with some wrestling matches, get the crowd going, but once again, they had to tell a story for WrestleMania, so I kind of understand why they did it this time. I just don't agree with it. So the C+, I think, is a pretty good grade for that segment. On to the next match, Nia Jax versus Asuka. This is a pay-per-view caliber match. Anytime these two ladies get together, it is gold, but I can't give this match an A. I can't because Asuka's streak. You know she's gonna win. Whether it be by disqualification, by pin, by countout, she's going to win. She's gonna keep this streak going to at least WrestleMania when she faces Alexa Bliss. But this match, like I said, they have great chemistry. So I'm giving it a B+. Did tell a nice story. I believe there was the start of a babyface turn for Nia Jax. She stayed in that arm lock for a long time. So it shows her toughness, it shows her will, her heart, and that's usually a move that's safe for a babyface. So there's a babyface turn here, and I believe it's going to be a good thing for Nia Jax. It'll get her a lot more opportunities. But the main thing here is Asuka wins again with a submission, and on to WrestleMania for her pretty much against Alexa Bliss. But we're gonna go backstage after the match. We saw Nia Jax with ice on her arm, and she was crying a little bit because she lost the match and she lost to Asuka twice in a row. Alexa Bliss comes out and pretty much hits an ongoing problem in the world right now, which is body shaming. Brings up the fact that Nia Jax has been bossed around because of her weight fluctuating up and down, and that she's a big girl. I thought that was a very sensitive subject, and I was kind of on Nia Jax's side. I really felt bad for her. She ended the segment crying, and I don't think it made her look weak at all. I think it made her look very vulnerable, and I think the crowd is going to see that as well. So, but the match itself, like I said, it was a B+, so we'll give it that grade. Our second match of the night, The Bar versus The Revival. What happened to The Revival? I think they've just become jobbers. I mean, seriously, they had so much momentum coming from NXT. Their first night on Raw, it was amazing. Their music played, and the crowd went crazy because The Revival was a big thing. Back then, they were white hot, and right now, they're pretty much jobbers to all the other tag teams right now. The match itself was pretty much, there was a stipulation. The Bar, if they get beat by The Revival can meet them for the tag team championships at WrestleMania. Nope. The Revival went down just like jobbers pretty much do. The Bar, they have great chemistry, but The Bar didn't have great chemistry with The Revival. It seemed like it was their first match ever. You know, it was, they looked like rookies. But the match itself, I give it a C- because it wasn't a good match. Told a little story. Of course, The Bar, they're just a great tag team right now, and The Revival needs to step it up a little bit. So I don't see them going to WrestleMania, but it brings up a question, who is gonna face The Bar at WrestleMania? I think we need some new blood. So I'm gonna give out an opinion. I'm gonna give out a tag team name, The Authors of Pain. I would love to see them go up against The Bar at WrestleMania. Let's see if it happens. If not, we'll see what happens. Next segment features John Cena. Wait, wasn't John Cena on SmackDown last week? What is he doing back on Raw? I know he's a free agent, but didn't he go to SmackDown to try and get into the title match at Fastlane? He succeeded, so what is he doing on Raw? I have no idea. All he did was talk about SmackDown, how he's getting to WrestleMania, how he's gonna try and win the title and go up against Shinsuke Nakamura and try and get AJ into the match to become a triple threat at WrestleMania. Oh, it's just nuts. I don't understand why he was on Raw today. I think it just filled time. And on top of that, Goldust, John Cena versus Goldust. Who cares about Goldust? I love Goldust, don't get me wrong. Goldie is awesome. 1990 called and they want their wrestler back pretty much. I don't understand why this match happened, why this segment happened. It took up about 15 minutes of Raw time, which could have been given to somebody else. So I'm gonna give it an F. I have to give it an F because there was no reason for it. Absolutely no relevance whatsoever. John Cena's not on Raw, he's on SmackDown. Just leave him over there for now, at least until after Fastlane. Let's see what happens at Fastlane, John Cena, and then come back to Raw. But failing great. Sorry about that. I'm gonna give you an F. Next match on the card, we have Bayley versus a member of Absolution, Mandy Rose. I think Mandy Rose is doing a great job right now. Mandy Rose is absolutely gold right now. She is improving. She's getting better in her matches. Her attitude is so much better. She's acting like an actual heel. Bayley is just Bayley. She's just basic. I mean, when Bayley comes out to her ding, 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 you know, my head goes down. I love Bayley. I loved her in NXT. I loved her when she came to Raw. I just don't love her right now. The storyline she's in right now with her friend Sasha Banks, or ex-friend Sasha Banks, I think it's, you know, predictable. It's going to happen at WrestleMania. They're going to face each other. But this match I liked, and I gave it an A because of Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is improving so much. Paige, yeah, she can't wrestle, but she can talk. She is gold on the mic. She brings Absolution out to every match, and I think she's doing an awesome job staying on the sidelines, but actually pumping them up. So Absolution, I think they're doing a great job, especially Mandy Rose. She is very, very talented. She has that heel attitude now, and she's going forward with it. She actually lost to Bayley, but they actually attacked her after the match. Sasha comes to save her, goes in for the hug, and rejected. Bayley says no, walks around. I think this could have been a perfect opportunity for the heel to come out of Bayley. She could have hit Sasha in the mouth, hit her from behind, done something. All she did was walk away. So basically this is a slow build to WrestleMania. It'll be Sasha Banks versus Bayley at WrestleMania. So it might be a good match. I mean, they get together and have great matches. I just think the slow build is gonna be a little too much. So like I said, the match got an A, but the segment after that, I think, I'm not even gonna grade that because it doesn't deserve a grade. Next match, Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men, versus Elias. Elias is turning into a great heel. He's turning into one of them squirmy heels that tries to get out of every match. Today, wasn't happening. Backstage, Kurt Angle decided to make this match Falls Count Anywhere because last week, he just ran out of the match. There was no contest. They called it the Symphony of Destruction. Pretty much the stage had a drum set, had a piano, had a bass drum, 3 acoustic guitars, I mean a full set. Elias starts off playing the piano. We didn't know he could play the piano. That's just another part of his gimmick that he's working on, you know, I guess. So now it's the guitar and the piano. He hits the ring, lights go out, and Elias is nowhere to be found until he goes backstage into his car trying to get away once again. Braun Strowman actually picks up the car. And when Elias is trying to drive away, all you hear is tires squirming, tires squealing, and then you see him look behind, and there's Braun Strowman lifting the vehicle, saying, "I'm not through with you yet." That's his thing. You were entertained because they used the piano, they used the guitars, they used the bass drum, so it was entertaining. I give it a B+. I think they could have better chemistry. I really do, but I think this is pretty much the end of their rivalry. Going into WrestleMania, there's bigger and better things for Braun Strowman, so I believe the time they had in this rivalry is over, and I think it's better for both because Braun Strowman is a championship caliber wrestler, and I think he belongs in some sort of title match. Don't know which one, don't know if he's going to be at WrestleMania in a title match, but he will definitely be at WrestleMania fighting somebody. Next match, Bray Wyatt versus Rhino. Bray Wyatt versus Rhino, what can I say? It was an under 5-minute match. Bray Wyatt pretty much dominated. Rhino had about maybe 4 or 5 moves in there. Of course, he pins Rhino for the 1, 2, 3. Pretty much is a bridge to gap the fact that him and Woken Matt Hardy are going to have a great match at WrestleMania. It's going to be final deletion match. Delete! At WrestleMania 34 between Bray Wyatt and Woken Matt Hardy. Not Broken Matt Hardy. woke, and Matt Hardy. I just know it's gonna be a slow build to WrestleMania, so just be patient, and it will get there. The match is gonna be pretty good at WrestleMania. The last time he had a final deletion match was in, I don't know if I can say it, but TNA against his brother, Jeff Hardy. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. C- for the match, WrestleMania 34, final deletion, delete. Next segment, of course the Oscars were last night, so every time the Oscars happen on Sunday, Monday Night Raw holds the Mizzies. Mizzies is always a fun segment. Mr. Ross comes out with about 5 gold, I don't even know what they were. But they were awards for different kinds of categories, making and poking fun at Finn Balor and Kurt Angle, and of course, Seth Rollins. They did mention that they were gonna have a triple threat match between the three, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and The Miz for the Intercontinental title. I like the fact that Miz got a match going between the Miztourage and both those guys, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. It was a good match. I like the fact that the back and forth between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. So who's gonna one up each other? Who's gonna win the match? Who's gonna get the pin? It was a great dynamic between both those wrestlers. They actually worked well together against the Miztourage, got the win, of course, set up this WrestleMania match. I love the fact that Kurt Angle came out and said, "You're not gonna face Seth Rollins. You're not gonna face Finn Balor." And the Miz smiles. You're gonna face both of them in a triple threat match. His face is gold, just goes from smiling to, oh my gosh. It was a really good match, really good segment. I give it an A, and these three pretty much are gold together. You got two of the best wrestlers, and you got the best guy on the mic right now. It's gonna be a great match at WrestleMania. Final segment of Raw, Paul Heyman. He's always been gold on the mic. He always will be gold on the mic. He doesn't need anybody in the ring with him. Today was a little weird. For the fact that Brock Lesnar didn't show up last week, Roman Reigns had his best promo of his entire wrestling career. He comes out, Paul Heyman comes out and has another great promo talking about how he's gonna bring the UFC title to WWE, basically starting a shoot. Of course, shoot turns a little real. Paul Heyman says his piece, is about to walk out of the ring, and he stops. I like the fact that he talked about The Undertaker, about how he only works 1 day out of the year, and everybody's worried about Brock Lesnar working 1 day out of the year. I think that information, opened people's eyes on what's going on with Brock and what's going on with Reigns for WrestleMania. But I think he should have stopped there, walked out of the ring, or Reigns should have come out at that time. Instead, he went on for another 4 minutes, and I'll be honest with you, this is the first time that I actually didn't want to hear Paul Heyman. I wanted something else to happen. Roman Reigns did come out afterwards, say a few lines, but nobody can top Paul Heyman on the mic, so he didn't. But I just think that Brock Lesnar needs to show up for a few more shows. This is WrestleMania. There's 5 weeks till WrestleMania. We know they're gonna have a match, but we need them to show a dynamic. They need to go face to face. And I believe next week they might go face to face. It is on the card, but it was on the card last week, so I just don't know what to expect. So the promo segment itself, I give it a C+. This is the first time ever I think I've given a bad grade or mid grade to Paul Heyman. Love the guy. I mean, he's just an absolute genius, wrestling genius on the mic. But it is a C+ because I thought it went a little too long, and people were starting to get disinterested, myself included. So I think this match is going to be awesome. The slow build, I'm hoping Brock Lesnar shows his face a lot more. So yeah, just pretty much a C+ on that segment. So Raw as an entire show today, I give it a C+. There was a big failure, an F. We had a few C's, some A's and B's, but all of it together, we're gonna give it a C+. There were some botches, there were some what I call shadow punches, shadow kicks, where you can see there's space in between that foot and that face, or that hand and that face, and it gets me kind of riled up. But you overlook those and you see the good matches. Some of the segments were really bad, some of the segments were really good. So overall, I give it a C+. It was an okay show, but there have been better Raws, and there will be better Raws. So folks, thanks for watching. Back to school, Monday Night Raw from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My opinions are my opinions, my grades are my grades. But more importantly, I want you to grade this show. Click over here in the eye. Let me know what you thought about the matches, what you thought about all the segments, and what you thought about my grades. Give us your grades. And also, before you leave, like, subscribe, and comment down low. Let us know how the video was. Let us know what matches you liked. Let us know which matches you didn't like. We need your opinions. We need to communicate. I want to create a community with Beyond the Shoot. I want you to give me your opinions. How can I get better? Maybe I suck today. If I did, tell me how I can get better. But more importantly, like, subscribe, comment, please. Also, follow me on Twitter at psycho_SteveBTS. Of course, BTS stands for Beyond the Shoot. Once again, at psycho_SteveBTS. Let me know what you think, folks. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a great week.